Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome to week 6 of general psychology. So, this week we have lots to get done. We are nearing the end of the semester. That's right, the end. The end. Next week is the end. And actually, next week is a very short week. We literally will finish up. We only have one day. And we don't even have a full day. We have until 5 p.m. So, Monday is it. All right, so let's get right into it. This week, you're learning more about psychological disorders, probably the reason you signed up for the class. So, psychological disorders, mental health, also therapy. Okay, so diagnosis, treatment, all of that. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, autism spectrum disorder, um, dissociative identity disorder, formerly multiple personalities, all types of interesting topics this week. So you're reading in your course textbook and learning about this information. You're using the modules right here in Canvas. There's PowerPoint slideshows and videos. You can learn that way too. And we are participating in 2 separate discussions. Each discussion is worth 20 points. You've been doing this all semester, so you know exactly what to do. Your initial post is going to be hopefully by Thursday, and your replies to peers is normally you have until Monday, but because we're on a time crunch, you have until Sunday. So you have to get it all done for the D8, D9 by Sunday. Now, that's 40 points right off the top, 20 for each, if you do a good job. All right, the next thing that you're doing this week is the group project. This group project is the same project you've been working on since the first day of the term. Okay, remember in week 1, you were assigned a group, you were assigned a topic. In week 2, you had to create a charter. Then at some point, you had to give me check ins privately and let me know behind the scenes what was going on. Well, this week, you're going to turn in your final draft. So the final draft might be a PowerPoint, it might be a video, it might even be a Prezi. It's whatever you and your group members put together to teach us about your assigned topic. Hopefully, it's the equivalent of a 15 to 20-minute presentation, and you've included speaker's notes or you've done a voiceover, you have references. The groups that do really well, they have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. They say what they're going to say it, and then say what they said. Groups that do really well document. So, in other words, they give credit where credit's due. They go ahead and have in-text citations and a very robust, healthy reference list. This is a college class, so you want to rely on facts more than opinion. So, the more facts you rely on, more likely you're going to have to reference a particular source, hopefully an academic source. All right, so that group project is worth 100 points. Now, every member should submit the exact same copy of the document. If you want to have one member submit it for everybody, that's okay. But in order for you to not get an error message, you probably just want to have everybody submit the exact same document. All right. I'm only going to grade one, whichever the first one I come to, as long as everybody's name's on it, that's the one I'm going to grade. With that in mind, I want to let you know not everybody gets the exact same grade because the other assignment that's due this week is the group evaluation. All right, so you and your group members get to privately rate one another, and I use that feedback to adjust the scores. That means there may be 4 people in a group and everybody worked really hard, but one member was going above and beyond, and the other 3 members acknowledge that and they say, hey, give that member some props, put some respect on their name. And so that member's score will be raised slightly higher than the other members. All right. By same token, you might have 4 people in a group and 2 of them worked hard and 2 of them slacked off. Well, if at least 2 people say that, these members didn't work as hard, those scores will be lowered slightly. Okay. If there's a member who haven't contributed at all, means zero, nothing, then what you want to do is leave their name off the presentation so they don't get any credit at all. Okay. So the group project is worth 100 and the group evaluation is worth 10 points. To be clear, that group evaluation is your own private assessment of what went on behind the scenes. So how did you do? How did your members do? All right. So that's the points for this week. You can get 140 points total, 4 assignments, knock it out. What's coming up on the horizon, because we have a very short week, is we have D10, which is going to be a chance for you to comment on your group members' presentation. So this week you're turning them in. Next week you'll preview what your class members worked on and learn from reviewing their presentations, and you'll give me some feedback and give them some feedback, and it'll be public, and that's how you'll get our last discussion of the class. For bonus points, I'll probably get you to respond to more than 2, but that's coming up. All right. Next thing is the final exam. The final exam will be due next Monday. Okay, no exceptions. It has to be completed by Monday. The due date will probably say something like Sunday and then it closes on Monday. But to be clear, the final exam will be everything in this class has to be turned in and completed by 5 p.m. I think I'll do 6 p.m. as a grace period, like 1 extra hour in case someone's right on the edge. But 5 p.m. is the deadline. And the reason why is because by 7 p.m., I want to start evaluating the course and getting it wrapped up because we have to turn final grades in the morning the next day. So we don't even have 24 hours. And so there's no more wiggle room. Okay. So that final exam is test two, aka test two. The final exam is worth 100 points. I'll have another video with more information about that and another study guide like I have for the first test. That's coming up next week, which, like I said, next week is one day. All right. The final exam will probably be available at the end of this week, so you'll have a few days if you want to try to. You don't have to wait until the last minute. If you want to take the test in the testing center, please let me know so that I can include your name on the list of students who will be taking it because I send a paper copy to the testing center and then you can go to the Ocala campus or one of the satellite campuses with the valid photo ID and you can take a paper copy of the test if you don't want to do honor lock at home. And as a gentle reminder, remember, in order to do honor lock, there's no code, but you do have to show a valid ID. You have to have a quiet space. It does cost a fee, and you have to have a computer and a microphone. All right. So this week you have D8, D9, and the group project and group evaluation. That's this week. Next week you have test 2, which is the final exam. D10, which is commented on the groups, the group presentations. You will also have reflection 2. Reflection 2 is thinking about the entire class. What did you learn? And there's a few questions. I've added some other questions. So make sure you use the questions that I posted for R2. Answer those and you can get an easy 20 points. Okay? This is just consolidating the learning. All right? Now, that's pretty much it for the remainder of the term. But there are 2 other bonus assignments that you probably are wondering about and you're looking out for. One is the makeup test 1, which will be available at the same time that test 2 is. And the makeup test 1 is just if you missed test 1 or if you didn't like your score in test 1, you take this makeup test 1, it shows 0 in the computer, but I manually update your score if you score higher. So it's self-graded in the computer, but it just shows 0 out of 0. But then I actually take whatever score you earned and put that in place of test 1 if it's higher. The other optional assignment is the extra credit. And the extra credit, like I said in the previous announcement, is extra work, and that's what's taking extra long. But it's just a crossword puzzle, and it's just 20 items, and you can get up to 20 bonus points for doing that. So that's pretty much it. The video is 8 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, and I'm going to say à tout à l'heure.